And hello, everybody. This is John Budd. Welcome to Level Yourself Up, where it's not about perfection but progress. How has everybody been doing? It's been like a month since I posted something, a little over actually. So I want to share with you some things that's been going on, what I am doing in the background. So I've really been, to be honest, I started recording this podcast probably 2 or 3 times. I recorded it. I wasn't happy with it. One time I was editing it and I just was not happy where it went. So I decided today I was going to approach this a little differently. I hope this comes off good. But so the topic was going to be decluttering, and not just your home, but also your mind, your business, your life. We have so much clutter sometimes that we lose our focus and our purpose, our personal purpose, not the purpose that everybody says we should have, not the purpose that everyone wants us to have, or agendas, motivations. But really, for me, I need like a reset button to really reset and get back to basics, especially when the tide gets swinging over far to the other side, where I'm so busy that I'm not able to practice what I want to call mindfulness, and I let stress start encroaching in my life. So a lot has been going on here. I've been cleaning. I had a couple weeks vacation, so I've been really tackling decluttering, and so that's been on my mind, just trying to get stuff cleaned up from when I got sick with COVID, and I'm just now starting to feel better, and so I'm having some minor setbacks that I'm working through. But, my overall thought process is, what does it take to get things done? So I'm going to walk you through this, just kind of what's been going on. But I had so much on my brain, and I know that we've talked about checklist and stuff in the past. And through the winter, I just started making this mental note of everything I didn't get done when I got sick, things I needed to be done. So I made this huge checklist. And one of the features I used was Google Keep, which is on my phone as well. So I just made this simple checklist. And as I thought about it, I started putting it down in this note. And I saw there was like groups of things. Some of it was to do with outside. Some of it was in the house stuff. Some of it was just general cleaning. And some of it was more personal, spiritual type stuff. And sometimes we need to set aside time for homework, so to speak. So anyway, I had this huge list to do, and then this list just seems mountainous. Have you ever been there, that this list? So we've created this checklist, and you can just seem overwhelmed. And I had to remember to start small. And so the way I approach this, especially cleaning, like one thing I don't have done yet is my closet. That's a mountain. I would just soon clean everything out and start over, to be honest. It would be much easier. But right now I'm focusing, since the weather is right, I'm focusing on things outside. And that's what I've been doing. I prioritized this list of what has to be done for the house, like hot water heater wasn't working right, and this water softener wasn't working right. We had some things that needed fixed. So I prioritized those to, kind of life essentials, right? So if the hot water would ever go out, it's easier to get it fixed when it's working than be out of hot water and have a mess. So I made this priority list, and I started cranking it on. I've been doing really well. I just checked off a few more options before I hit few more tasks as I hit this record button. And me and my wife was walking around the yard and looking at things we want to do and trying to prioritize what's important to us. And then you're always working in the weather. But anyway, so I just started small. And for me, I had a plan. And so when I was doing this over the holiday, or my vacation rather, what I did was prioritize, if it was going to rain, this is what I was going to do, and kind of had a contingency plan. And I knew beforehand, before I got out of bed, this was kind of the general things I wanted to do. I had 1 or 2 or 3 tasks that I felt like I put upon myself that I had to get done. And the truth of it is, if I didn't, I wasn't going to beat myself up. But I did try to knock out certain tasks, get those done. And to be honest, the list isn't coming off as fast as I want, but I'm at a lot more peace in doing it. It's not like this mountainous chore. We're just slowly cranking it out. It didn't get this way overnight, and we're not going to get back overnight. I actually been looking around because what I did was when I got burnt out working in the garage, I would go to another task. And so one of the other tasks was cleaning my den. So I got piles of stuff here by my door. I got certain piles here of tools that just need to put up from the hot water heater. So I'm kind of making this piles of stuff to get rid of, stuff to clean and sort. Then I got one pile that I just need to decide what to do with. I want to organize it. I want to keep it because there's things I need that I will use in the future. So I'm not just going to throw it away, but just kind of sharing what I'm doing and basically have a plan. Not that my plan has to be your plan, but also is what clutter, as I was doing this, I was asking myself, what clutter is in my mind that's keeping me from reaching my potential goals? What am I telling myself? Seems like with everything's going on in the world, it's easy to beat yourself up a little bit, get down on ourselves. And, I know a friend of mine, actually not one, several friends of mine, it just seems like it's a stressful environment in our workplace. A lot of things going on. I know that the people I know out of state even are having issues. So a lot of it is just eating the elephant one bite at a time. But in the middle of this, for me, is what is bringing me joy. I have a purpose for cleaning this up and getting organized. I actually have a vision now. I can see as the more I work, as we take action, no matter what direction we do, once we take action, we start getting clarity. So I'm starting to get some ideas how to organize some things that I couldn't get some vision on earlier, things around the house where I want to, like we have a fire pit and stuff. So I'm kind of, as I'm working out there, I'm starting to get more of a vision and, things are kind of changing on the fly a little bit. But that's how it works when we start doing something, whether we're making a logo for somebody, whether we're doing work for them. The more you work with them, the more the creative juices kind of flow. And so we can bring good change. So a lot of that happens by decluttering our mind and getting our mind in the right place. So I'm a big believer, everything needs to have a place and a place for everything. And especially when we inherit things, I can be really guilty of holding some people back. I was thinking about some projects going on at work. Some new people took over in a job and I've been training them and I really got on them for, not on them, but I was afraid they would throw away something we needed. And now I think they know enough of the process. Now I think they're safe in getting rid of stuff. And sometimes, in the middle of that, it's trusting people. And the worst case, if they throw something away, how valuable is it? I've been thinking about that a lot. I read a thing about the 2020 rule that if it's less than $20 or it takes 20 minutes to replace, don't keep it. Don't know if I totally agree with that, but at least with some things, I think that's true. So just think about that. Think about how you can bring joy, and I do believe that when we're organized, it is just much more efficient. And so that's all the journey I've been on, is to slowly get organized, to have everything in a place and place for everything. I've been trying to get rid of stuff. Also, one of the things I thought about was who is influencing in our lives. Not that they're toxic, but I guess if we have toxic people in our life, we also need to get them out of our life. But sometimes I think we need to take a break from the podcast, the books we listen to, and in social media, and just have a reset to really search your heart about your thoughts and your beliefs. And I think there's a good balance in this. I've been having a good conversation with a guy online. We definitely have some different viewpoints, but I really appreciate his viewpoint. I think about it. I ponder about it. I think it's good not to force each other in this, that it has to be my way. I think we have to have the respect for one another, that we're not going to agree, but to ask questions, especially on the tough topics of the world. But anyway, I kind of getting off on a rabbit trail there, but this is all that everything's been going on in my mind as I'm working and doing things around the house. These things are on my mind. And so another thing when we're cleaning up and tidying up our car or our workspace is also think about your car. Through the winter I always carry a snow shovel, a tow strap and stuff in my Jeep in case somebody gets stuck. I can try and help them get out if I get stuck. I normally always have something like a jumper cables, some sort of snack, and I normally keep an extra blanket and gloves and a hat in there, and all that stuff. Here it is, June is still in my van or Jeep. And I was thinking what I need to do is, because I normally just toss it in the seat, in the back seat. But what I really need to do is get an extra bag, like a backpack. I got an old one I was going to throw away, and I think I'm going to just take all that. I got a coat I can roll up. I can have everything rolled up in that and keep it in there. I know in Europe, they actually, I think it's a requirement, they carry first aid kits. And I was thinking about that. I got a first aid kit here at home. Maybe I should get together another first aid kit and keep it in my vehicle. You never know when you're going to run up upon something. So just thinking about that, how are you prepared in your vehicle? So I know this is just a kind of a mind dump podcast, but I've just been decluttering and thinking about things, how to get organized. And as I'm doing this, I'm asking God, what is my role in all this? How should I organize this stuff? The best suits, my lifestyle. So we're also giving a lot of stuff away. Some of the stuff we're just pitching. I think also as we buy stuff, don't buy it if it doesn't serve a good purpose. And just unplugging and unwinding. It's so good for me just to go outside and sit down out, under the tree. That is so healing. There's healing in that for me to just sit there and pray and think about things and just ponder, to be in amazement and wonder and to look for God in different ways, the way he's speaking to me. And I think also one of the things, as I've been kind of researching how to maintain this, I think it's funny. Well, it's not funny at all, but I am around the house. I can be working on something, and when I get home, I bring my tools and just drop them on the bench, or to get done working on something, I just leave my tools on my workbench and I don't put them up. So part of my practice needs to become that the job isn't done until I get my tools put up. So like yesterday, I did an odd job for my mother-in-law, so I had a whole bag, and we came in late. It was like towards dark, and so I just put the bag on my workbench. But this morning, first thing I did was go unload that bag. It took 5 minutes. I unloaded that bag, put everything up in its place. So now that stuff's put up, and so if I ever need to use again, I know right where it's at. So I think it is visually pleasing to be organized. There's something about just visually not having clutter laying around. And my wife would say this, she would chuckle because right now I've got messes everywhere. So I don't like admitting that because I do believe in being clean and organized. And I think sometimes it's easy to get involved in projects and not follow through and finish them. And that's probably my biggest guilt, is that as I start these projects, I need to wait for something else. So that sits there, then things fall off my desk, so to speak. And so that's one thing I want to do. I'm just trying to reduce the clutter in my life, the thing that's drawing my attention. And, it kind of goes down to this, to create a place for the essentials. What's essential for you every day? What is essential for you to have peace in your life? To have, I just want to leave it at peace. What's essential for you to have peace in your life? How do you like to wake up in the mornings? What do you visually find pleasing to your eye? For me, I want to spend time with God in the morning, to wake up and just ponder whatever. I like to I've been trying to invite God into my process, some of the things I struggle with, and being open to let God show me that I'm wrong about the things. And, it takes some time to break down some of these walls. I heard it on I think while I was mowing, I was listening to a podcast, or I read it in a book. And I thought it was kind of neat that we often wonder why God doesn't remove things from our life. And sometimes this junk, this clutter that I'm calling, or maybe it's, our emotional state that we're brought up with. Because in this podcast, we always talk about changing who we are and as we grow, but sometimes we can't just change overnight, and we fail at our goals. We do self-sabotaging. And I think it's because we don't do enough of our homework to really understand why we do it in the first place, why we do certain things, what injuries in the past we have that hurt us. And so that's what God is really speaking to me, is how do I find a place to create intimacy with him. And so getting back to the story. So if God just yanked this stuff out of our life, it could really hurt us in the long run. God is so gentle and kind that he gently unravels everything. And then he wants us to be able to give it up. He don't want us to just lay it down and give it to him and we're struggling with it. He wants us to come to a place that we can say, God, this is not serving me anymore. I need to serve you. So that's what I've been learning. That's what's going on in my life. There's a lot going on in all of our lives. I think about all the struggles my friends are having, just, they're not huge, but, when you live in the day-to-day life, we can take these things that are huge things that can really weigh on us. So I just pray God would give you peace and that you would be open to letting God's presence come into your life. So that's where I'm at this week with this podcast. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope it made some sense. I'm probably just going to make a short edit on this on a few things. But yeah, just declutter yourself. Declutter not just your physical world, but your mental world and your emotional world. And, if you need help, reach out to me. I'd be glad to help you. I know if you need some more, whatever coaching you need, I guarantee you I have friends in the right places. I'd be loved to either plug you in or to help coach you as well. All right. God bless, my friends. I will see you later.